We're working. We look like we're working to me. Okay. Well, after a whole bunch more doctor shenanigans, and then having to work because I have to afford to pay for my plastic crack addiction, we are back, and I figured today we would work on building the rest of those cutie little plastic tanks that we started last week. So last week we built this guy on stream together. This is a Panzer 470. So it is a tank hunter version of the Panzer 4 with a super big honking gun on it, which is pretty cool. He's pretty cool guy. So I figured we've got a couple other tanks in that box, so I figured we'd start building that up. So we've got a Jagdtiger. We've got two more Panthers and one more Panzer 4. Or two more Panthers. And I started building this other Panther here. And I started playing around with magnetization on it, which was kind of fun. So I started to magnetize it. So this guy is... give me one sec. Gotta find a complete sprue. So this guy is this sprue here. This is the Panther sprue. This also builds the Jagd Panther. So we're going to build one of those today too. So we're going to build two Panthers and a Jagd Panther. Because I had built one basically as the instructions said. So there's normally a little pin in there that kind of plops in. It makes the turret sit sort of like that. Really kind of like tight and flush. And I was kind of worried the paint was going to scratch, to be completely honest. And I fucking love magnets. So I figure out a way to magnetize the turret. It does mean if you look at it perfectly on the side, you'll see a little bit of fuckery. But if you look at it literally any other way, it should be fine. So it does also mean we're going to need to build this one a new turret. But since we're going to build that Jagd Panther, we're going to have an extra turret anyway, so it'll be okay. So for this guy, the bottom of this guy pretty much goes together like the bottom of the last guy that we built last week. But we'll go ahead and we'll start building the bottom, and then we'll kind of build the turret when we get there for that guy. Bonk, 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 bonk. And then this guy's actually undergated. And I said this last week, but holy shit, these are really a lot like Gunpla. Like, if you have built Gunpla in the past and you wanted to make like the jump into miniature painting, I would say this Flames of War stuff is like the middle ground between miniature painting and Gunpla. Like, it is identical plastic to something like this. Like, it feels the same to clip out. With the nippers, the runners feel the same. The runners look the same. Way different from, say, like, Mantic stuff, Games of War, Games Workshop stuff. Even the bolt action stuff feels different, right? There's my Chiha that I'm working on finishing up. Yeah, you can see I magnetize the turrets on like all my tanks, even the bolt action stuff, and it makes them sit slightly higher, so you can see it on that one too. But it does mean they kind of, I can spin them around without any like real issues, and they never scratch or anything like that. So anyway, all right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and clip this guy out. Now, one of the things we're going to look at today is the instructions on the Flames of War website. because last week we were using these instructions, and these are the paper instructions that came with the Clash of Steel box set that we unboxed last week. And they're okay. They're not bad instructions by any regard. I don't want to say they're bad. They do a perfectly fine, reasonable job. They're cool. But holy shit, the ones that are on the website are like a trillion times better. Just like infinitely better instructions on the website. So we're actually, after we build a little bit of this, we're going to go look at those because they actually show you all the variants for the model. That's how I know there's like other variants on these sprues, because like I can see the extra pieces and I'm like, man, I know I can build other stuff with these, but I don't know how. They show you all the other variants and stuff like that, and they have like little like historical little stories and stuff. So last week I talked about going to a tank museum as a kid, and they actually have an article about that tank museum that I used to go to as a child. So we're gonna take a look at that too, because it's kind of funny. Because they actually, that tank museum actually has one of the tanks that we're going to build today, which is pretty darn cool if you ask me. So, all right. So the big sprocket goes in the front, and then the slope goes in the front on the Panther, and it kind of like locks in, right? The Panzer IV has like crazy good engineering. Like whoever made that one did a phenomenal job. I was really impressed with it. This one has pretty good engineering. Definitely pretty good. Like everything locks in, feels good, sits in place like it's supposed to. But like the Panzer IV is basically idiot proof, which is why I could build it. So, yeah. Also, I apologize if I'm either whispering or shouting. My eardrum is still ruptured. Although it's doing a trillion times better. It hurts a tiny bit today. It didn't hurt at all yesterday, but it hurts a tiny bit today. I'm a little dizzy today, but I wasn't dizzy at all yesterday. And, yeah. I'm almost through all my antibiotics, so next week I'll be going back to the doctor. And hopefully they will just be telling me, keep on keeping on, and I will be healed soon. So, fingers crossed. I'll be back to my normal annoying self soon. Okay. So yeah, you can kind of see just how everything kind of like just slots in, right? And just kind of like fits into place. But that the pieces are unique enough and logical enough that they just naturally kind of make sense, right? Like I already built one of these like partially, so I don't really need to like, you know, scour the sprues looking for stuff. Which is pretty darn cool, but like the parts just make sense, right? It's not like any like crazy little cuts or any of that bullshit. Like it's all things that just make sense. You know, it's the treads, it's the tank body, it's that kind of stuff. You know, all common sense, good stuff. All right. Now we got to put the back door on. Don't want to leave your back door hanging out. And then it's going to need its pipes. And I I assumed the Yagged Panther had different pipes, but it doesn't. It has the same pipes. We're also going to build a Yagged Panzer today as well. Now one has different pipes. So, all right. So the little butthole cover, bloop, just fits right in, right? It's fantastic how good it goes. Super duper good. But yeah, I kind of wanted to build these today. Because to be completely honest, I'm really excited about painting them. A lot of my free time's been sucked into Last Epoch. Just playing video games and stuff, not doing a lot of hobby because I haven't felt very good. So I'm trying to get a little caught up on my hobby this weekend, you know. Trying to do a bunch of hobby. So I'm excited. I'm probably gonna try to get all these guys built today on stream, or at least all the German tanks. Not too hyped about the Russian tanks, to be honest. I kind of want to build some German tanks. I want to build a bunch of American tanks. I want to build some British tanks. I really liked building the bolt action Chiha. I'd kind of like to get a another of this kit so I could build it as the alternate bolt action one. The Shiamoto. Hold on. Shinhoto. The Kai Shinhoto Type 97. That's what I like to build. So I'll probably pick one of those up at some point, but to be honest, I'm doing a thing where I don't buy anything until my birthday at the end of April. I'm doing a don't buy shit challenge, so we're trying to be good. All right, so we got 2 bodies there. We're gonna need a 3rd body, so let's go ahead and put it together while we're here, putting bodies together. And then once we have all our bodies together, we'll go look at the instructions on the website, and we'll talk about the website a little bit. Because the website's pretty freaking cool. Oh, let's see what I got. What do I got? Who's texting me? Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut is texting me. I thought I was cool and had friends for a minute. I should have known better. No, it was Pizza Hut. The fat guy's friend. Pizza actually sounds really good. Actually, you know what sounds super good? Not to be like fat guy going on a rant talking about food. But man, I had Thai food earlier this week. I stopped on the way home from work and brought Thai food home, and it really hit the fucking spot. I tell you what. I'm really wanting Thai food again. I got a Penang curry with some sticky rice. Oh, dude, it was so good. It was so good. It really hit the spot. Oh, anyway. But yeah, so we'll put together this other bottom, and then we'll go look at the website. Because the instructions that come in the starter set are pretty good. They're not bad instructions. They get the job done. But as you can see, there's a ton of extra stuff on this sprue. And the website basically tells you what it all is. Because some of these pieces are reused. Things like the tread sprue and all, right? Like, there's a ton of extra stuff on here that just doesn't get reused because that sprue is reused. Which is fine. Like, that's not a bad thing. But you know, if you're new to the Flames of War stuff like I am, right, to these little tanks, right, that can be a little confusing. If you've been doing little tanks for a while, it probably you're like, oh yeah, I've seen 400 of this sprue. I know everything about it. It was created by John Wing Wong in 1782, and It was cast by the Blind Eye Brothers in the Mountain of Doom, you know. But if you're new to it, it can be a little confusing. So the better instructions on the website are actually really helpful for that. Also, there are options for these tanks that you get in this kit that aren't on these instructions. Now, the reason they're not on these instructions is because these instructions are trying to get you to build like a specific kind of like starter army. So that makes sense, right? Like from getting you into the game and started, right? But if you wanted like all of the options from a like kind of like a gameplay kind of standpoint, there are extra stuff that are on these sprues that you don't get instructions for. Namely the Yagged Panther, the Yagged Tiger, the Yagged Panther, the Yagged Panzer. You get instructions for the Yagged Tiger. And it looks like the Panthers have infrared equipment, which I didn't even know was a thing during World War II. That's on the sprues that you can put on there if you want. So, all right. So there's our 3 Panther bottoms. It's like a furry gangbang. And we'll set them up there. And we'll go look at the website real quick. All right. Whoopah! Okay. So this is our Panther. This is the sprue we were just looking at. All of the red stuff is stuff we don't need. All of the gray stuff is options. All of the green stuff is required, I think. And all the gray stuff, I think, is options. So you can see it has kind of like, instead of one picture that's sort of like broken out, it's got this really nice kind of like step by step. This goes into that. Like whoever made this did a really good job, which is really surprising because the Flames of War website is very dated looking. And actually finding these on the website is a giant pain in the tail. So whoever made this, props to you. You did a really good job on this. Super duper good. All right, so let's see. Optional, see step 7, gluing the skirts on the side there. Assembling the turret. And then you have your Panther. And then here's the IR assembly, which I think is infrared, because it's 3 different sights. One for the gunner, one for the driver, one for the commander. And then options for assembling the Yagged Panther. And you can see the different things and how they go together. So that one's pretty cool. And then this is the Panzer I-70. This is the one that we built last time on stream when I did the unboxing, the little one that's all built. Right? And this guy has an alternate option of being a Jagged Panzer IV. So the difference there is he gets the shorter barrel and he gets the different kind of exhaust. So we're going to be building the Yagged Panzer IV because we already built the Panzer IV I-70. So with ours, we're going to build this one here. And then this is our Yagged Tiger. I think we just build him as is, to be honest. I don't think he has anything else. Yeah, and this is the Panther again. Now, the one weird thing about this is, about the online ones, is they don't show using any of the stowage that's on these. Like the tracks and stuff. But the digital one I have, or the paper one I have here in my hand does. It shows using some of the stowage. So, yeah, just interesting. So, yeah. I mean, the stowage is all optional, though, so, I mean, you can even see it in the end picture there. There's some stowage there. Now, this, I stumbled across on the website, and I wanted to bring it up because it was really neat. So this is the Aberdeen Proving Ground Tank Museum. This is the tank museum I used to go to as a kid. So this is the like giant tank like gun that is on like rails, which is pretty cool. There's a bunch of other neat stuff here. This is the Desert Rat Stewart that they have. But the thing that is worth pointing out in this article is this guy right here. Is the Jagdtiger. That's the guy that we're going to be building today. So we're going to be building that guy, which is really neat. And there he is. So, but yeah, I thought it was funny that just by browsing this website, they had an article about this place. Because I used to go here as a kid. It was really, really neat. Yeah, you can just see it's like rows and rows and rows of crazy tanks. Super fun stuff. Super, super fun stuff. Anyway. Alright, so let's leave these guys to dry a little bit. Shoop. Move them over here. And we'll build our Jagd Panzer IV. So we're just going to clip all his parts out first. So I'm probably going to 3D print a bunch of like stowage and stuff for these guys. So like little cases and guns and bits and bobs all over them. Because I think that'll be pretty cool, to be honest. There's also the none of these tanks have like pintle mounted guns. I think that's the right term. Where it's there's a gun mounted on like the turret, and it's on like a commander's kind of cupola, like a machine gun or something like that. None of these little tanks have those. It just has like a detail. So I'd kind of like to be able to print those out. Because I think that's a cool piece of these kinds of tanks. So I will probably see if I can find some 3D printable ones of those for these. And I mean, I'm going to be super honest. I'm sure somebody else out there wants those as well. So, like, I'm sure they exist on the internet. Like I am not a super, like, king of historical accuracy, right? Like, my, like, German army for bolt action has, like, werewolves in it, right? My, my Polish army for bolt action has werebears and a mech in it named the Pierogi. Okay? So, like, keep that in mind, okay? Like I'm not king of historical accuracy here, but it'd be cool to have the little machine guns and stuff. And I'm sure someone that is the king of historical accuracy wants those too, so. Alright. Okay. This is all the pieces of what's going to be our Jagdpanzer 4. Got sprue away. And we can marvel at the nice little bit of engineering that is this, so that we make sure our tanks and our treads and stuff going right. Because no matter how I assemble this, I cannot assemble it wrong. Which is pretty darn cool. Gonna back the camera up a little. Ooh, and we're gonna zoom her in because you guys are getting a lot of beard cam, and I don't mean to give you so much beard cam. Hopefully, oh God, why so much beard? Stop with the beard cam. Why? Stop, please. There we go. Maybe I'm just sitting too close with my hands today. That's probably. But yeah. Oh. So in the land of 3D printing, you can probably see them there a little bit in that shot. I've got some 3D printed bases because I really like my vehicles to have bases. So I was trying out a couple different makers' bases that I found for free for the tanks. Because like this is a standard base. That's a standard Flames of War base. I like these bases. They're really cool. I was trying out these. They're a little thin, which might look okay, but my printer's kind of like printing them out a little flat, and it's because whoever designed them actually put like a micron thick little lip on the inside. So if I print them upside down like I should, it prints really weird. So I don't know if those are going to work. So I have a slightly thicker one printing right now to try. All right, here we go. And then this guy goes. Something like this, right? Okay, click the rest of that nub off. These really are like Gunpla. Just like that. And then he gets the shorter barrel stuff. And he gets this guy here. This is his butt plate. Yeah, it's interesting. I was looking at the website for these. And man, this starter boxes are a really good deal, even for like their other prices. It's really crazy. It's like each one of these little i70s, they count the runner as being like $10. And I'm like, okay, so you gave me 2 of these, you gave me 3 Panzers and a Jagdtiger. So you gave me what you consider to be $60 worth of just German tanks. Like, okay. And then you also gave me all the dudes, the rulebook, the dice, like 50 Russian guys, 30 German guys, and 11 Russian tanks for $60. Like, how is that economical compared to your other prices? Like, it just doesn't make sense. Anyway, sorry, I'm ranting about how good a deal the freaking starter sets are again, because they are a hell of a deal. Is that right? Does it go that way? Does it go that direction? Did I clip off all the nubs? I don't think I did. I think I missed a nub. Yeah. Yeah, I think on the bottom there's a nub. I screwed that up. Huzzah! All right. And I think these are air filters, right? I think these are air filters, or they're extra wheels. One of the two, I'm not sure which. I think they're extra wheels. Yeah, that's what that is. That's a set of extra wheels. Yeah, it's a set of extra wheels. All right, our side skirts, we're gonna clip those to all hell, but I'm gonna glue them on first. And then when I weather these bad boys up, I'll clip them all apart then. And then it gets the little bonk. Do 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 do. Oh man. There we go. All right. Nice. Okay, and then we got this boy here, and he's got the little tooth. Oh, we lost our camera. Why did we lose our camera? There we go. Cable's being a little finicky today. My husband did give me this really cool head camera. I need to set that up. To be completely honest, like after Christmas, I immediately went on like a work trip, and then I had my parents like over, and then like just it's been one, and then I've been like sick with one thing after another. I have not had like more than like a fucking like minute to sit down and relax. So I am like so far behind this year. Like it's honestly painful how fucking far behind I am with just existence. But it's okay. Having pretend YouTube friends to talk to about little plastic toys is always nice. And that's always cool, you know? Go. We can put these guys on. Like that. So I was working on the so I did the unboxing recently for that that crazy good deal I got for the Pacific War starter set, right? For bolt action. So I started working on the Japanese, painting them last night, right? Because I've been painting their tank on and off all week in like 10-minute increments every night before I go to bed. I started painting the Japanese last night. Man, painting Japanese skin tone is really hard. It's super hard. I'm pretty happy with where I wound up, but my first like batch of it came out really bad. It occurred to me I've never actually painted Japanese skin tone before, and I just did a really, really bad job. Like, they legitimately looked like a fucking caricature from the fucking 40s, and I'm like, this looks terrible. I'm like, I don't want my dudes to look super racist, you know? So I went back and basically repainted all their skin, and now they look pretty good. I'm pretty happy with them now. They actually look like real human beings now. yeah, there we go. There's the Jagdpanzer IV. And this is the Panzer IV IV-70. Or no, Panzer IV 70. The IV is the 4. Jesus Christ, Josh. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I got to get them some little stowage, and I think that's pretty boss. Alright. Let's build the big boy. So we'll build the big boy. Let's build one of the Jagdpanthers too, because I don't need any magnets or anything. Should we do the magnets for one of these guys? Yeah, fuck it. Let's do one of the magnets too. Oh man, I'm just all over the goddamn place. All right, we got this body cut out. We can do that. That's fine. We'll do the magnets. That's fine. All right. So let me explain how the magnets for this work. Instead of using the pin that is right there and plugs in through that hole, what I was doing is I was widening the hole a little bit because it is just shy of being a 3mm hole. And what I was doing is I was replacing that pin with a 3mm magnet. So technically, if I'm unhappy with the height that they sit at, I could actually reduce the size of the magnets and have them sit at a different height. Or I could add more magnets and have them sit super high, like some kind of weird elephant tank. I wouldn't do that, but it's a thing I could do. What I was then doing was I was taking a smaller magnet underneath and do a smaller one. Let's find a smaller one. There we go. Taking a smaller magnet underneath and gluing it down like that. And what that does is it basically makes a platform for these magnets to connect to. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do that and make sure the hole works. The hole works. And then I'm going to apply a little bit of glue around the edge. Then I'm going to take my magnet and I'm just going to go bloop and glue it over the hole to make a little magnetic platform. Now technically the magnet on the inside here doesn't actually have to be a magnet. You could use anything for this. You could use like piece of a tin can or literally anything and it'll work. So you can see the magnet down in there now. Yeah, that'll be good now. So and toss that over to the side for now and we can get building our Jagdpanther. That's what we're building. Now I'm gonna fully admit I fucking love the Jagdpanther. It's like one of my favorite tanks. And I love it for a really dumb reason. There was a mech piloting game which was like a Mech Warrior knockoff on GameCube. No, on N64. And the last mech that you could get was named the Jagdpanther. And I don't know why, but I fucking loved that mech. And like something about it just like broke my brain. It broke little Josh's brain and I fell in love with it. And when I realized there was a real tank, that mech was basically based on a real tank. Oh yeah, I was smitten. So I love this thing. I actually have a bolt action one of these and I've had it for a while now. I've had it for several months. And I haven't had the courage to build it because I feel like my bolt action tank building skills are not up to snuff to building it. Which is particularly funny because I know I definitely want to build 2 of these sets, because there is a version of the Jagdpanther that doesn't have a cannon in it and is just a rolling flamethrower, which is like the most badass fucking thing. So I know I'm going to want to build both versions, but I have it sitting in the box on my right, staring at me, and I'm like, one day, Jagdpanther, I'm going to be good enough to build you, but the day is not today. So we will suffice with the little one instead. But yeah. To be honest, I like a lot of these tank destroyers style tanks, like the Stug and stuff like that. I know conceptually they're not very like historically interesting, even though they are historically very successful, because they're like ambush vehicles that would basically like hide in a bush, shoot someone in the back with a giant gun, and then run away. But I do think they are really neat. Alright. Okay. So let's see. There she is. What else does she get? She gets a machine gun and 2 hatches. Now, because of the way these Panthers are built, you really could probably magnetize the tops on these. And just, if you wanted Panthers or you wanted Jagdpanthers, just swap them in and out. I'm not going to do that because I kind of want to make every one of my tanks have like a unique color scheme or camo or something. But you probably really could do it if you really wanted to. So, just something to think about. If you like really wanted to build like the absolute most for your dollar, you know. You probably could magnetize them somehow like that. I used to be into magnetizing for that, right? Especially with Warhammer. Now I magnetize just kind of for enjoyment. And for fun, right? I don't really magnetize for like, you know, oh, so I can go through for a competition, and that way I have all of the options. I can be have all the like the options for competitiveness. I don't do that anymore. Now I magnetize so I can like spin the turrets, or one of my favorites is like, you know, I have a bunch of orc stuff where like, you know, I can spin like the barrels and their guns around and shit. Right, like they have like a big energy gun and I can spin all the pieces of the energy gun, you know. Fucking dumb shit like that. Like you know, that's the kind of stuff I do now, and I still love magnetizing, but like I do that kind of stuff versus like, you know, competitive option kind of stuff. All right, so she needs that. Oh, she needs those turrets, and she needs the hatches. Are they on this one? There's a turret on this one. Okay, there's a turret on this one, so that's, we can use that. And then I guess the hatches are on this one. Okay. Let's see. Glue the machine gun to the main hull. Okay. Can do. Okay, and then in case you want to see what I'm looking at, I'm just looking at the instructions. Alright, what two hull pieces is it using? It's using the 2 straight down, okay? Okay. And then is it using any of the stowage stuff? Yeah, I'm probably going to figure out the stowage stuff like later, because it does want what I think is like a pipe cleaning tube or like a barrel cleaning tube or something like that. It does want that, so we'll grab that. As well. When I first saw this piece, I thought this was for like a rollout awning or something for the troops. It's actually, I think, for a barrel cleaner that they can like stick down the barrel like a chimney man. Yeah, because like the pans. Okay, yeah, thank you. Yeah, because like this one up here, it's got some treads and stuff on the back and stuff like that we could put on there. I think I'll hold off for now and I'll do that all later. But we do have those options. Which is pretty cool. Okay, so. Alright, so let's put on a couple things it wants us to put on. Alright, so it wants us to put on the hatches, so we can do that. There we go. Oh, these are really tiny. I need tweezers for these. Cause see there's a split in the middle on these. You probably can't see it super well on YouTube land, but there's a slice in the middle of these. How this hatch opens is it actually opens from the middle, and it's 2 pieces that close on each other. So there's like a hinge piece on each side, so that needs to line up with the doors, with a door on each side, or it's going to look weird. And then let's see, they get this too. This is that barrel cleaning thing that I thought was an awning. Shit. Nice. There we go. And that's the Yag Panther. Shoot you in the back, you're gonna have a bad fucking day. Alright, so one of those is for that tank if I want to give it to it. And then let's see. These are the upper pieces for those. One of those needs a turret still, so we can get that ready. Sorry, I should actually be working on the camera. Yeah, I figured we'd build the big boy last. He's like one of the biggest tanks of World War II. So, the Yag Tiger is. Okay, so we can put that to the side for now. So we need to find... I want to put running skirts on one of these Panthers. That's a thing I want to do. I'm not going to worry about stowage right now because there's a lot of stowage on these runners. Like different track parts and all that kind of stuff, which is pretty cool, and I want to use it. So I'll figure that out later after I print out some like boxes and barrels and stuff. As you can see, like all my bolt action tanks, they all have like 3D printed stowage that I printed out for them. Right now, my 3D printer though, I can't print anything because I have a giant undead snake printing from Dragon Trappers Lodge. This month's Dragon Trappers Lodge, 10 out of 10, would highly recommend. Oh my god, it is an amazing set of like mice, and there's like an otter, and oh, it's so good. There's a giant like crow with a rat necromancer. There's a bunch of like mongoose villain guys. It's so fucking cool. Like, it is a beautiful set. And one of the two big, because there's like two big centerpiece models in it, and one of them is a massive undead snake. The other one's the giant crow with the necromancer on him, with the rat necromancer riding on him. But the massive undead snake, 3/4 of him are printing right now on my 3D printer. So when I set it up to print tonight, I will print myself some stowage, but can't print it right now. Okay, let's see. I clipped out a whole bunch of shit. Let's see what I clipped out. I didn't clip out barrels. Let's clip out some barrels. Hold on one sec. Oh, I'm back. Sorry. I just saw this weird piece here, and I was like, oh, I wonder what that is. It's a really weird piece. I was hoping the instructions would tell me, but they didn't. Oh, right. Yeah, cause see, like these are tank running gear, or like road wheels of some kind that are pretty big. These are some kind of plating. We've got some treads there. We got some kind of armored skirt. We've got some front guns, one of which has Zimmerit on it, one of which does not. Yeah, and the weird words you end up learning when you start looking at historical stuff, like Zimmerit. Just weird fucking shit, you know? Alright, so let's see. Do I have all my barrels? That's a big barrel. That's a big barrel. I need the panther barrel. Okay, I don't have the panther barrel. Okay, this should be all the parts my panthers need minus stowage. After we get these panthers assembled, I'll take a couple-minute break and we'll look at my bolt action panther. Not that anybody probably wants to do that, but I want to do that because it sounds like fun to me. And yeah. Alright. So let's see. So the turrets, they go together with like these two pieces that click together. Now technically you could slice these pieces down to make the turrets go up or down. So if you really wanted your turret like pointing at the sky or something, you could do that. Do I see a particular value in that? No. But if you really wanted, you could do it. I don't think there's a lot of value in that though. But the option I think is there. You would have to like cut the piece down though, and it would be kind of fiddly, but you could do it. Alright, now let's see. We'll put the barrels in when we put them on the fronts. So these pieces now go on the fronts here. We forgot to get the tops. Oh well. Oh, I want one of these to have a commander popping out the top anyway, so. I don't normally like my tanks to have commanders popping out of them, but since I'm going to have so many tanks, I think I should have one with a guy popping out the top, you know? Oh, I bet you I can magnetize the guy popping out the top. Yeah, because like technically this this piece here plugs in, and then the lid swivels, so you could probably magnetize the commander in and out of it. Oh man, why did I think of that? Damn it. Alright, we'll do that. We'll magnetize the commander. See, this is the dumb shit I use magnets for. Like magnetizing the fucking commander. Alright. So let's see. Yeah, because what we could do is we could just glue the hatch open. Then we don't have to worry about the hatch being opened or closed. And we could magnetize the commander in and out. Alright, let's let me use up some more of these little pieces that are floating around so I don't lose them before I start gluing things. Man, I love these little tanks. They're really fun. Do you ever, like, as a war gamer, do you ever, like, look at a war game and you wish you would have, like, you kind of, like, wish you would have got into it sooner, you know? Because that's kind of how I feel about, like, a lot of the historical stuff. Like, I kind of wish I would have got into it sooner. But it is what it is. Alright. Alright, so we need magnets for the commander. We're going to need tiny little magnets, not giant magnets. So to the magnet pile we go. We need like what? Like a 1 mil? I guess on the inside we'll put a 3 mil. Alright, we'll put a 3 mil on the inside. And then when we drill into his butthole, we'll put a 1 mil. And that's what we'll do. So we'll go ahead and we'll... Whoa, that is way too much glue. Oh my god. Oh, oh. That was way too much glue. Man, this glue fucking sucks. Don't ever buy super glue at Long Strokes, kids. It's bad. My husband got this big back tattoo last weekend, and I had to hit Long Strugs to buy super glue, or to buy him a soap for his back. So after I picked him up from the airport at like 9 o'clock, I went up to Long Strugs to get him soap for his back, and I really needed super glue because I was trying to put miniatures like this on bases. So this is a Kettengrad. This is for bolt action. This is a Kettengrad 3D printed from Kayushenko. I think it's Kayushenko miniatures on my mini factory. And I just didn't have glue to put it on the goddamn base. So I bought the only super glue that they had. And man, it is crap. I need to get some good super glue. I need to go out to like City Mill or something. Or even fucking Walmart, anything. This glue is terrible. All right, we're gonna let that dry for a minute. While we let that dry, we're gonna go ahead and we're going to build the other turret, which is our boy right here. So these turrets are pretty cool. They just go together with a couple pieces, right? They just pop together. Now the peg for these, if you wanted to do pegs and not do magnets, the peg for these works perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with it, right? I like to be able to control how high the turret sits, because I do like my turrets to sit a little bit higher than they do by default, because I don't want them to scratch up the paint or anything. But you don't have to magnetize them. The pegs were perfectly fine. All right, let's see. Where's our hatch? Okay, so that's the hatch we need. So we're gonna need 2 of those. And for one of these, we're going to glue it so it is fixed open. And one of these is going to be fixed closed. Okay, we don't need that one. There we go. All right. Okay. They're so tiny. Such tiny little bits these are. They're very hard to like see. I had a bunch of viewers for a second. Yeah, it must have been bots. Must have been bots. Must have been bots. There's like a whole flood of them and nobody said anything, so. Alright, so we can glue the little turret on like that, and then our commander will basically just pop in like that. So when we get him off the sprue, we'll just drill a butthole into him and stick the magnet right up in him, like that. So, yeah. Alright. Let's see. This guy here, he's basically good to go. So he can get his barrel and his cover. There he is. And then we'll give the commander this skirt armor. That seems appropriate to me. Alright, so that's going to click in there, like that. And then we can go ahead, fill that hole up with glue, stick a barrel in there. Now I do wish these barrels were keyed for what direction is up, because I feel like I'm going to be a little bit off. Like, I feel like that's probably pretty good, but we'll see. And then we can glue this down. And then the commander one we can give glue to. As well, we can glue the body on and then the skirt armor while we wait for this all that super glue to dry. Honk honk, I'm a tonk! Boom. There we go. Alright. Move over, M5 Stewart. We've got a panther. And this guy we can put down too. Really fun to work on, these little guys are. just putting more glue on it so the back holds a little better. Bonk. There we go. Another panther body. All right. And now the fun thing is that if I want the one with the skirts to have the closed roof, I can do that as well. The turrets are going to be swappable. So, all right. This is going to need a turret too, so it's going to put that in. Then we'll put the skirts on that boy, and then we'll look at my bolt action guy, and then we will build the Yag Tiger while this is finishes glowing as well. Boom. There we go. Ooh, that's gonna get crooked. Okay, let's not set it up that way. I guess let's set it flat and it will sit right. Yeah, floppy barrel syndrome, my friend. How about you? Do you have floppy barrel syndrome? Tiny bit. Tiny, tiny, tiny bit. Let's get you some barrel Viagra there. There we go. There we go. And then you. Alright, we'll let your barrel set and then we'll come and check it in a sec. Alright. Let me cue up the directions. You can see how those skirts go on. It says they just go on. It says just put them on. That's helpful. There's clearly a lip. So, yeah, I guess they do. Just go on. Wow. Okay. That's easy enough. Bonk, 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 bonk. Nice. And I guess we match it up to the back line. Is that where it goes? Yeah, it matches up to the back line. You can see there's a there's like a front and a back line. See how the front has the curve and the back line's like flush? It looks like it matches up to the flush back line. Okay. All right. Whoop. All right. Nice. That looks pretty good. All right. Let's So this is my bolt action panther. So this guy has a whole bunch of zimmerit on him. So that's what that weird kind of pattern is on it. And you can see he also has the different butt tubes, the different exhausts. So definitely interesting. And the turret, basically the same, to be honest. I mean, the bolt action one's obviously a little more detailed, but that's because it's like 3 times the size. There's one extra viewing port on this guy, and this light is in a slightly different position, and he has little hooks. Those are the only differences, really. Oh, those are really the only differences. I mean, that's pretty freaking detailed for a 15mm model. I mean, that's pretty baller. Not gonna lie. Right? Because I bet you the difference in the butt is the butt exhausts is due to the version. I bet you this is like a different version Panther. Because this one is covered in zimmerit. So I bet you it's like a different war version. And the this one clearly has a Top Gun, stuff like that. But yeah, that's really cool. Super, super cool. Let me go put this guy back. Ugh. All right, so our other guy's going to dry, so we can do the magnets for his bottom real quick. So, boop. The magnets for his bottom. It's not going to be that bad. It's going to be nice and easy. So, for these, what I've been doing is I have a 1 millimeter. I have a 1 millimeter by 3 millimeter magnet, and then a 2 millimeter by 3 millimeter magnet, and then I have a 5 millimeter by 2 millimeter magnet. Now, the 5 millimeter by 2 millimeter magnet basically just clicks in perfectly. Hello. It basically just clicks in perfectly where the normal tab would go. And since we put that magnet down deep inside there, well, I apparently put it in backwards. Good job, me. So let me reverse that really quick. But since we put that magnet deep inside there, now it just pops right on, right? Just like the turret for the other Panther. Did I leave one of the magnets in there? No. So yeah, so it should work pretty good. Oh, I had something in there. It's in the way. But yeah. Unless you're an absolute magnet derp like me, like straight up, just use the pegs. Okay, why are you not behaving now? You behave fine on this one. Right? Do you behave fine on this one? Yeah. Okay, why are you being a jerk here? Oh, is it because there's glue that's set in? Yes, that's why. That's annoying. Alright, there's glue that's set in. That's obnoxious. Alright, that's fine. We can fix that. Nice and easy. We could just take one of the magnets out and then it works fine. And technically we can do the same thing here too, and it fixes that other problem too. Anyway, where were we? Whoop. That's right. We were going to build our tiger. Our yagged tiger. Sorry, let me mess with magnets for 1 sec. There we go. Okay. Yep, we're going to build our yag tiger. That's what we're going to do. This is probably good for gluing. Let's go ahead and glue that up, and then we'll build the yag tiger. And he will be the last kit from the Clash of Steel box. He'll be the last armor kit for the Germany side. Go ahead and we'll glue that up. Just like that. And we'll throw her to the side like that. And we'll break out our Jagdtiger. Okay, now this big ol' Mama Jama looks like she goes together pretty easy. Looks like they did that really good thing where they keyed the tread sides again so we can't mess them up. And it's really ironic that they have one of these at the tank museum that I talked about going to as a kid. And that the company that makes this game has a fucking whole article about that tank museum. It's just so ironic. It's so weird. You know? Like, I can't even. Such a small world. Anyway. There we go. We'll clip all of our boys out here. And we did look at the instructions for this on the website earlier, and they seemed pretty straightforward. It didn't seem like there was any like optional parts or anything like that. Everything seemed pretty just standard. Whereas with the Jagd Panther, the Jagd Panzer, and the Panther, the Jagd Panzer 4 and the Panther, we had a whole bunch of optional parts. So, okay, so let's start there, and we'll start with what we got there. All right, so these are keyed in like that. Also, we are going to take a look at magnetizing the commander too, since we magnetized the turret for him. So we'll take a look at the commanders when we're done with our Jagdtiger. So we'll be able to have or not have a commander popping out of the cupola. I think that's what it's called. The commander nest thing. I think it's called a cupola. You know, it's like Francis Ford tank turret. All right, that joke was really bad. That legitimately like gave me like psychic damage. That's how fucking bad that was. All right, so let's see this. Where do you go? Do you sit really high like that? I mean, maybe you do. Let's see. You are a really big tonk. Yeah, if you did want to play something like Tonks or Tanks for the Apocalypse, these tanks would be awesome for that too. If you didn't want to play Flames of War, or like me, if you wanted to play something like Bolt Action or one-page rolls, and just play it in a smaller scale, right? Be perfect for that, you know. Bonk, 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 bonk. There we go. There we go. And maybe the body does just sit higher, maybe. Well, we'll see in a minute. I'm going to put some of this armor on the sides. You're probably like, why is that armor cast separate? It's so they can get the detail on it right during the casting process. Because there's a whole ton of detail in there, right? See the like the little straps and the hooks and the little all that stuff. Yeah. Yeah, see these little nubs here? I'm kind of expecting those to like click in somewhere, you know? We'll see as we keep adding stuff, I guess. So let's see. This is the... That's the butt of the tank. This is the front of the tank. So... It goes like that. Okay, so that fits nice and secure, so... Because these little nubs are throwing me off, man. Because they're like lifting the whole tank body up. And I don't think I'm supposed to clip them off, so... It'll probably be a thing like once I get to a certain like assembly point, everything just is like... Boom, 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 and slides together. But... Just not being there, those little nubs are confusing the living hell out of me. There we go. Okay, and then this should just like slide in, I guess? No. No. Huh. What a confusing little guy she is. Oh, there it goes. Okay, it just sits a lot further back than I expected it to. Weird. Okay. Weird, weird, weird. Did not expect it to sit that far back. It's like a freaking lowrider, Jesus. There we go. All right, sweet. Cool, 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 cool. Yeah, that sits way further back than I thought it would. Interesting. Okay. All right, what else we got on the sprue? We got more side skirts. Okay. Side skirts on side skirts. So you can side skirts where you side skirts. And then we got... Oh, look, this one. This one's got a hull-mounted machine gun. Why don't the rest of them have that? That's cool. I want all my kits to have those. Alright, and then the gun looks like it's 3 parts. Boom, boom, boom. I will say the detail on this one is like crazy, crazy crisp. Like they've all been really crisp, but like... Oh my god, it's really crisp on this one. This has to be like one of their newest kits. Yeah, 2021 for this one. What's the Panther one? It's so hard to read. 2015. Yeah. What's this guy? 2020. Okay. Yeah, that checks out. Because if you look at the Panther versus the Panzer IV IV versus the Jagd Panther or Jagd Tiger, that checks out a lot. I mean, this one has easily the crispest detail of them all. And once I understood how the like design works, it did just click all together like all the others. Like, to be honest, I just didn't understand the design at first. I did not realize the Yag Tiger was such a like triangle boy. Alright, oh, we gotta put his butt plate on. Got to give him his butt. Give that a hold for a second. Make sure she settles right. There's even detail on this one up under the running skirts. It's crazy. Okay, then we have these track skirts here. Oh, we gotta put the exhaust on. Let's do that. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I'm just becoming Butterfingers all of a sudden. Oh my god. There we go. Yeah, see, that just goes right on. That's so nice. Man, these little tanks are so good. I love these. Is there supposed to be a gap in that one? Or is it supposed to line up? Because I'm assuming there's supposed to be a gap there. Because that's the back tire flap leading to the side skirt. So I'm betting there's supposed to be a gap here. Because this is the front tire flap leading to the fixed side skirt. Yeah, there's supposed to be a gap. Okay. Well, I guess I could probably get rid of it or make it smaller at least. Because on the other side, it's really, the gap's really small. Let's see if we can let's see if we can tighten it up. There we go. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty good. It's pretty damn good. There's still a little gap because the pieces are probably technically different pieces from the actual tank, but it's not like a giant gap. Now, all right, let's see what else we got. We got a bunch of stowage. We've got an open or closed cupola. I'm probably using the wrong word there. We have the turret still. We have the gun. We have a bucket. And this one has a whole bunch of stowage. I think we'll put all the stowage on this one because it has specific stowage. So let's do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the front of this tank on like that. And then like that. Okay. That's good. Oh, this is actually keyed. Hell yeah. Since that's keyed, we'll put it in. I was going to hold off putting this in because I didn't expect it to be keyed like the Panther barrel wasn't. But it's keyed, so it'll go in straight. Oh, fuck, that's great. All right. Let's see. What do we got here? We got these doors here that go in the back of the turret adjacent thing that I know is not really a turret because it doesn't actually spin, but and then we got our machine gun right there, and then we have our open or closed cupola. We're gonna go with the closed one because we have our magnetized guy for the other one. Then we have a whole bunch of armor chunks that go in these. And these are not actually armor chunks, these are tread chunks. So we're not going to fill it entirely up in every one of them, but we'll put a bunch of them in. Okay. All right, and then this is our. Oh, if you wanted to, you could actually just slide this piece in and out. If you wanted to sometimes have a guy in it and sometimes not, you could just slide that piece in and out with the way it's built, which I'm going to be super honest, is really cool. So big props to the company for that. That's awesome. I'm going to glue it in because I don't really want this one to... I don't want this one to have a dude in it, but if you did, that's really cool. If you really wanted to be like, oh, this one is now the commander in this one or whatever. And I showed that because this one has the guy. That's really cool. Oh, I didn't clip out the bucket. How could I forget the bucket? The bucket is the most important piece. There it is. Yes, there's a tiny ass little bucket on this sprue. What is it for on the tank? Who knows? But the tank has to have its bucket. How the hell does the bucket attach? I don't really know. But I can't have a tank without its bucket. Sorry, I'm like trying to like zoom in with my eyes, like where does the bucket connect? It looks like it just like glues on in the back. Gotta have the bucket, man. That's cool. Alright, let's see. The tank things, they... The fuck do they go? Oh, like that. Okay. Alright, so let's see. Let's be missing the top one on that one. And then we'll have these going in that one. Oh. Okay. All right, and then on the other side, I don't know, we'll have, I don't know, bottom one and the top one. Sorry, I'm double checking how I hooked them on before, because they actually can go on a couple different ways, because there's they're treads, right? So they can click into the treads, or they can actually go between the treads. And I think they're supposed to go like in the back. It's going to be impossible to show you this on camera, but there are these little tiny little slits in the treads. Maybe you can see them there. There's slightly darker areas. I think that's where they're supposed to plug in. Alright, there we go. And then, where the fuck does this go? Wait, where does the gun go? It's telling me the gun goes in the back. Alright, to the website instructions. Oh. The instructions on the website actually don't have it. Okay. They don't show you where the machine gun goes. Because it's just showing it like in these little instructions here. Let me show you. It's just showing it going like right there, which means that it's probably an anti-aircraft gun, which makes sense, but I also don't want to like glue it in the wrong spot. I wish the website showed where it's supposed to go better. But yeah, so there's our completed Yag Tiger. So, in an hour and 40 minutes, all the tanks we built. We built a Yag Panther. We built a Yagged Panzer IV. We built this guy last time. This is the Panzer 470. Then we built and magnetized a Panther. Boom. We built and double magnetized another Panther. Boom. Gotta get the magnets on that one working a little better, but yeah, it's pretty darn cool. Let's look at the commanders really quick. And let's look at magnetizing one of the commanders. So let's see, we got a whole bunch of commanders. Alright. Let's see. We get 2 different sprues. So we get 11 different commanders. So we get a dude waving, a dude doing like a comm check. You get some guys popping their heads out, a guy talking on a radio. We get a dude saluting. Not a fan of that one. We're not doing that one. We get a dude with goggles. We get a couple other kind of like mechanic-y kind of guys. What about this dude on the radio? We'll do him. He seems cool. Alright, we'll do the dude on the radio. So, he's going to pop right in here on top of our panther. Boop, just like that. And what we need to do is we need to drill a tiny little hole in him. So I need to get a 1mm drill bit, which is about this one here. Sorry, my pin vise is really janky. I need to get a new one. In fairness, I've had this one for like 5 years. It's just old and rusty and kind of broken. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a pilot hole with my scalpel. Okay, so I made a pilot hole. Now I'm going to take my 1mm drill bit. I'm just going to drill a little hole in him. Now, if this guy was resin, I would be wearing a mask for this because the resin dust is super bad for your lungs. Like, if you get it in your lungs, that's really bad. That can lead to things like mesothelioma and all kinds of bad things. So don't do that. So if you ever have to sand or drill resin, make sure you wear a respirator. And not just a mask, an actual respirator. Alright, so let's see. Alright, bonk. So I made a little stack of magnets just to make sure I have the right height, and then I have a whole bunch of little 1mm here, and I'm going to take a little 1mm, I'm just going to shove it in his butthole. I'm going to put a little tiny little dot of glue in there first, but because my glue is really bad, it's probably going to like completely get glue everywhere, so I'm going to be very careful with that. Okay, it got glue everywhere, that's fine. There we go. All right, nice. Now we're going to test it. Dun 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 dun. And that's how you make a removable commander for your tanks. So we put the magnet deep inside, and then we drilled a butthole in our commander and stuck a magnet deep inside him too. Oh wait, no, this isn't the commander tank. I want the one with the, what's it called? Just the commander tank. There we go. Why is this one so weird and janky? Yeah. Boom. Boom. And then when I get tired of there being a commander, I just pull his ass out. I just put him back in. And there we go. And that is all the tanks on the German side of the Clash of Steel box. Now, this isn't how you're supposed to build them according to Clash of Steel box, but these are all the options that you can build, which is pretty fun. Pretty fun. Alright, and with that, I'm going to take a break. I hope you guys enjoyed watching me play with my little tonks. Maybe next time we'll build some, or maybe next time we'll paint some or something, I don't know. But it was a fun time. Says the tonk. Bye everybody. Have a good one and keep them.